All right, hi everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Big Gold Belt Wrestling Podcast. We're coming to you live tonight, half of us from Canada, half of us from the United States. I'm one of your hosts for tonight. My name's Caitlin. I have with me tonight, we have one of our other regular hosts, Two James.
What up?
Say
What
hi.
up? Hey,
And
hey.
heel Will Mahoney.
How's it going, everybody? Another fine night on the Big Gold Belt, and I believe we may be going to church this evening.
We very well might be going to church this evening, but, you know, it's going to be a good church for all of us. Tonight we have a very special guest we're interviewing. It is the born-again priestess, Harlow O'Hara. Hi, how are you doing?
Hello. Sorry, my phone definitely cut out, but hello, I'm here.
Yeah, for all of our viewers, Harlow is in the car right now, so we're going to make sure that she does not have any sort of accident. We're just going to have a really nice, cool conversation about the work that she's been doing, and yeah. So, hi. We're just going to start off. Hi. So I just wanted to start off with a pretty hopefully easy question. I just wanted to ask about you have a pretty unconventional road to becoming a wrestler. So can you just explain to us how you got started in this, and you know how long it's been, and who your inspirations were? Yeah, just give us the outline.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's pretty unconventional. I feel like most people had the vision of being a wrestler or being in the business when they were younger and were a part of wrestling families, but mine, I feel like I found a passion and a love for wrestling as an adult, through just, you know, trials and tribulations of being an adult, you know, the things that happen in life, that, you know, depression and anxiety and all of that stuff, and I found it through that, and wanting to be a little bit more I guess like focused on like self-love and just finding something to look forward to and starting over. And I found wrestling about probably, I think 2016 is when I really I had always like watched it bits and pieces growing up, and I remember being like in awe of it, but never like a huge fan, like never asked my parents to take me to go see a match or go to any. Discovered it when I was like in my, you know, mid-20s, and deciding that I wanted to train was just like a whole new world of something that, like, if you would have told me like 3 years ago that I was going to do this, I would have been like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? So, what were we going to say?
I was just going to say, and I want to put emphasis on, if you would have, to the point where you said, if you would have asked you 3 years ago,
yeah, which
means that you've been in it less than 3, but I know less than 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes. You know, if I had to etch out what would a person who's just started in 2 years look like, it's not you. Like you're so way beyond that point. It makes no sense to me. It's
I don't it doesn't make sense to me either.
I mean, it's just, I think it's a testament to all the hard work and focus you put into it. I mean, literally for the time you've been into it, you grasp what does it mean to be a wrestler. And I think a lot of reason why so much positivity is coming your way. I can remember when you debuted at the Nova show, you started at the tryout show. Yeah. And I remember, I forget who I was sitting next to, but I remember looking over, and I don't even recall if you won the match or not, which a lot of people think that, you know, people who won, that was their ticket to the night show. But nonetheless, people looked at like, all right, we've seen about 19 matches that day. 19 matches, 19 hours of just pure wrestling. And you stood out to the point where it's just like, that person has like the look. She like the crowd gravitated to her. Like, I don't know if she belongs on a trial show. Like, this person looks like they've been doing it for a long time already. Yeah. Nonetheless, move forward. You made it on the main show. And then move forward, you're in every other promotion, everywhere, facing everyone's top talent.
God, I don't really even know how. I think at the Nova tryout show, it was March 10th. I remember the date. And at that point, I had been wrestling for a year and 1 month.
Jeez.
Yeah.
1 year.
Yes. Yeah. I debuted in February 11th, 2017.
Yep.
So yeah, it was like pretty much a year and a month to the date. But thank you, I appreciate that. It's funny hearing that because I still feel like it's not just a feast. It's a 100% guaranteed. Like I have so much to learn. It's funny when so much people still say that. It's funny to like see how people hear how people like I guess perceive you versus how you perceive yourself. It's good, and it definitely keeps you going. It keeps you wanting to keep getting better, so you can keep upping your games every time you perform in front of fans or the same audience. They can feel like they see you grow a little bit, and I think that's important to me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, how did you like start developing the look for your character? Like, who did you look to for inspiration when you were first putting your character together?
So I love. Okay, so my character is just a mesh of like all sort of things that I love. I love the aesthetic of churches and cathedrals and cemeteries, like historic cemeteries, and I love the band Ghosts and In This Moment, and I just have like a lot of different like things that I pull inspiration from. Like some things I pull inspiration from like just the actual like meaning behind my character. Like I'm also very into just all sorts of the occult and stuff like that. So it's all of that, and then also like goddess worship and religion in general, just all of that stuff. And so all of this stuff too also mixed in with brands and bands and everything that I like, and it just kind of became this whole like character. And then obviously I love like the look of like
I feel like we've lost the microphone. Technical difficulties.
We might have.
She is in traffic, so yeah. I'm not gonna make.
For a second, I was like, "Wait, am I cutting?"
Yeah, I didn't want to say. We were all holding our breath.
Yeah, we apologize for technical difficulties. We'll get it all together.
Oh. Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
There you are.
I'm here.
Yeah, so worried about you in traffic. Like, please don't distract her, everybody.
Literally, like, let me apologize to your audience. I'm so sorry, guys.
Like, oh no, we've had problems.
I'm trying to multitask, and like,
be safe.
Weather where I'm from is horrible right now. It's traffic, so I'm like going in and out of service zones, but.
No, it's super understandable. And it's actually cool that you were talking about using the occult as one of your inspirations and all of different bands and stuff, because it seems like that aesthetic is super big right now. And you only see it a little bit in the bigger, more like family-friendly promotions like WWE, but there's not any women really doing that. Like we have Aleister Black doing it on the bigger screen, but there's no like cool witchy women characters yet.
Yeah.
But I feel like it could be filled.
I feel like there are definitely like there's because people I know like someone that off the top of my head that I can think about.
I mean, to be fair, that the microphone problems make it sound really cool, but it's kind of spooky backmasking. Yeah, storms.
For the record. Hello?
Yes. I'm here. Hear me. Oh, cool.
For the record.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for the record, we didn't get that. We didn't get that answer, so we're going to need that one again. You were about to mention. You said you can name a couple of other few people that also mirrors the same gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that like I feel like have similar gimmicks going on that they, you know what I mean, that I can think of.
Mhm.
But I don't really want my gimmick to be so much witchy. Like that's kind of like the background of my character, but I want mine to be more of like this, like, you know, like I said, like her own cult, like her own religion, her own church, like, and not so much like the witch aspect of it as much as like the religious aspect of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why like I don't really talk about like in a lot of my like promos or this and that. Like you never really see me talk about like witchcraft or anything because that's not really what my character is. Like even though that's kind of like the vibe is what I like draw my vibe off of.
Mhm.
It's more of like that, like the almost like, I hate to say it like this, but like the ugly side of religion or the evil side of religion. I feel like that's kind of like what I draw, like what I really want my character to come off as, like some, you know, like almost kind of like that, like believe in yourself type of situation, like worship me, my, you know, this is my religion. Find a new religion, find a new church, like type of situation. Not so much like I'm gonna cast a spell on you or you know what I mean, or like and even though like witchcraft, you know, like pagan and Wicca and all that is religion, but not so much that aspect of it as more of like the Catholicism aspect of it.
Yeah, you're kind of, I guess you're kind of playing on the idea of like being devoted, like devotional, like being super devoted to somebody.
Exactly, like exactly, a perfect way to put it. You know what I mean? Like it's just like the actual like imagery of it is drawn from like, you know, those like the occult and like Catholicism and all of that, like that, the visuals and stuff. It's kind of like all of that mixed together, but the actual idea of my character is more of that, like being devoted to me, like follow me type of situation. So not so much the wit.
No, the part I want to.
I know. There we go. I think microphones. Can you hear us okay? Are we still good? Microphone check.
I can.
Ooh.
So how about this? Hello? So how about this too, so people would know where you actually coming from right now? How did you spend today?
The last Warped Tour ever in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is the last year of Warped Tours, and it was the last year.
Yes, and you must be VIP because I saw you hanging out on the stage and all.
That I don't look IP at all. I look at myself as like some random girl that happened to got a wristband. I don't know how.
clearly not, but
like cool. I don't know what to do with this. I'm gonna go over here.
And you ran into some other people. I saw that you from your social media. I saw that you ran into some of your old co-workers and some friends and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, it was just a good day. I mean, it's like the last Warped Tour, and it's the last date in Atlanta. So everybody, you know, just kind of everybody was hanging out. You know, like gotta enjoy the last one ever. So, and it was a torrential downpour, like natural fashion Warped Tour in Atlanta. Every Warped Tour in Atlanta my entire childhood was rainy, so why not? Right?
Basically a sorrow ending to the story. and on that note too, that's we will sponsor this show by the weather in Atlanta right now currently disturbing this show. So one thing I want to know is, so we talked about how you came up with the whole persona as the born again priestess. I want to know who was at that table with you when it came down to this creative process. I mean, this is really well thought out. I tell you, every time I see you, like when I look at your promo pictures and everything, Everything is A1. I know Will's gonna have questions about the promo video that went viral, obviously, that everyone's seen. But I want to know, who was at that table and what type of trust did you have in these people, considering that, this was a decision that, and I heard you spoke in the past how, like, you didn't grow up watching wrestling and so on, like you said earlier. And also there wasn't people so much in your corner saying, hey, you should be a wrestler. So how do you assemble a round table with people to saying, like, I got this crazy idea of what I want to do, and I need to construct the look, a gimmick, a style, and all that. Could you speak about that?
It's fun.
It's funny.
It's just a little spooky, that's all.
Hold on, Harlow, because you're cutting out there. You might have to repeat that again.
Like, hello.
Yeah, go ahead, say that again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Go ahead. Oh, she's cutting out again.
Okay. Like this shit.
What you just say?
I said hello. I'm like, this is like so not working.
Yeah, it keeps going in and out.
This weather, I'm telling you, this weather is so bad. Like, it's so bad. It's probably like, I don't even know.
Yeah, you definitely have to repeat that one.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Crystal clear, right?
Crystal clear, yes.
Okay, good. I forgot what the question. No, I didn't forget. Hold on. You were asking me about like who was involved.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came to actually like creating this character and my background story for her and my like trying to figure out like the look, it was all very like solo. Like I spent a lot of time by myself, like researching stuff and writing stuff down and designing what I wanted everything to be. And then of course I had people that helped. Like I have a photographer named Tammy that like she's been amazing. She like helped me put together all my promo photos. And then my best friend, and I had a team of people like Gold Sun Productions, like a friend of mine, he does films. So he helped me he helped film my vignette that you guys are talking about on YouTube. So it was definitely like all of that stuff was a collective effort. And that was mostly just me like sending like scripts and ideas out via Facebook Messenger to people. They had definitely helped all bring it to life, but I think like the core of everything was very much like, I guess just like me being by myself. I think that's why I put so much effort in this and it came out the way that it did, is because I very much focused for like months on this. Like it wasn't like an overnight thing. Like I started deciding what I wanted the background of my character to be, the look of her. Like, I mean, like, I think it's July, the end of July last year. So almost a year. So like literally a year ago. And I didn't release it until January this year. So it's just like multiple months of just preparation for it and like researching and, writing stuff down and jotting down ideas by myself. And then finally, like, my best friend helped me the day off of my makeup for the shoot and everything else, just because I had so much going on. And then, I had people who know me, who are friends of mine, that just wanted to help with actual filming. And then it just kind of all came together within that 24 hours. Like we all just kind of met up. We had never like actually had a meeting before. I just, like I said, sending ideas over Facebook Messenger. And we were like, okay, we're going to film this on this day at this time. And then that's what happened. So. And
all the pieces just managed to fall into place. Yeah. Getting by with a little help from our friends, as they would say.
Exactly. And I don't really I'm really grateful for all of the people that, did help actually like the day of, like to bring everything together and all deal with. Like, I mean, like it was just months of like sending messages back and forth and like, no, this isn't right. This isn't, I'm a little like I have a lot of attention to detail. So I was being kind of crazy. But it was worth it.
No, it absolutely shows, and it absolutely pays off with. I can't think of many people on the indies, and I especially can't think of much of anyone on the indies a year in that like has such a polished presentation, such a complete character with a backstory, and I mean all of it across the board. But that vignette, I mean, that's like outside of like WWE, you got Joey Janela doing stuff kind of like that. That's just such high end, you know, effort and thought put into like making this entire character come to life that it blows me away. I'm so impressed with just the complete package of like the Harlow O'Hara character.
Thank you. I'm still, like I said, I'm still kind of like in shock that it just all, I don't know. Like, I believe in it a lot, so I shouldn't be in shock. But when you see that people are actually interested in it and like receptive to it, it's kind of amazing. And it's something that I've genuinely put so much of my like heart and soul into. And I've like, I don't know. That's something that I think I realized that because at first, when I first started wrestling, I was like, I don't really want like a crazy gimmick or this and that. I just want to like be good at wrestling, and I just want to come to the ring and like be in cute gear and like do a good job and wrestle really well. And then it just kind of hit me one day. I'm like, no, that's actually like not what I want. Like I want when people to see me in a ring for it to be like an experience and not just like a girl that's coming to wrestle in front of them, you know? So
yeah, no, that's definitely the best attitude to have. I did want to ask you about your gear and accessories. So do you make those yourself, or do you have like people who do those for you?
Oh no, I would not. I don't even know where to start. My gear maker, she's amazing. Like her name is Stacy. She if you go on Facebook, you can type in by Stacy T. She makes all of my gear. She basically will have. I'm fortunate that she lives in like Georgia. Like she lives near me, so like I can go and sit with her and like for hours, and we'll go over stuff. And I'm very picky, and I drive her crazy, but it's worth it because it's like she makes like my gear, my entrance jackets, like everything.
Yeah.
And then there's a designer over in London, and her name's Hysteria Machine, and she actually makes my like halos and stuff that I wear like on my head.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a collectively finding people that are good at their craft and kind of like make the things that I want for like my character. And I just got lucky with Hysteria Machine because I've been following Hysteria Machine for like years, and it just so happens that they actually make like the halos for like the band in this moment and all this other like stuff. So I was like, this is perfect. And I messaged them, and they're like, yeah, we make stuff for everybody. You don't have to be like famous band. And I was like, okay, cool. So she's made 2 halos for me now that I switch off between shows.
Right on.
Yeah.
I have my other question just slipped right out of my head. Oh yeah. So okay, so from a person who's been very vocal about going through depression and stuff in her past, when it comes down to wanting to create something and you know it's a start that you know again you wasn't fully supported or had a support team around, where did you channel strength and encouragement from when it came down to pursuing your dreams?
That's a good question. I mean, I have like a very, very small circle of people that I will literally tell anything to, and they keep me going. But I've kind of just always been like this my entire life. I've kind of always just been like, when I decide I want something, even if I'm like in like the worst like anxiety like attack of my life, like somehow I still like find like I'm like, no, I gotta keep going. I'm not gonna stop. So it's been just a lot of like coming to Jesus moments like with myself, to be honest with you, which is something that I think is important because at the end of the day, like it's important to have people around you that encourage you, that truly believe in you. And I'll never discredit that, but you can do more for yourself than anybody else can. And unless you believe that, there's only so far you'll go. So it's definitely like I said, like starting wrestling has been like a learning experience and like an experience in self-love and self-discovery for me. And I think that's another reason why I've been able to continue with it and keep pushing myself, because it's strength that I've been having to like find with myself to keep myself. Like I never, like I said, if you would have told me like 2.5, 3 years ago that I would be like wearing a 2-piece in front of a few hundred people every weekend, I'd be like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? And so it's just self-discovery, and then the few people around you that truly believe in you, like my best friend and like my sister and stuff like that. Those little like 1 or 2 people, they kind of, when you need that edge, they'll give it to you, and that's important.
Cool. So I guess one of the questions I had too was like, do you think you can name off the top of your head what your biggest career accomplishments and challenges have been so far?
It's like I should be able to, because I've only been wrestling for like 1.5 years.
But there's many. You've been doing a lot of work, so that's understandable.
You know, like I've gotten to wrestle overseas early on, like 6 months in. I got to wrestle in Ireland at OTT and at PWU in Belfast, and that was like a really cool accomplishment, like that early on in my career. Mm-hmm. And then just like recently, like I just really think like all the things that have come into my like career in the past since March have been literally like every weekend it just feels like it's topped, and I think that's why I'm so hard on myself, and I keep questioning like, what can I do this weekend to be better than last weekend? Like what this show this Saturday needs to be better than last Saturday. And it's like, I think that's just because I just feel like so like lucky recently with like the opportunities that I've been presented with, like Battle Club Pro and Nova and all of those companies. Like really, like, I mean, it's not like I have tons of companies that I work for, but the ones that believe in me have like made the biggest difference in my career. So like going to Battle Club and every single show, like them believing me enough to put me in a ring with like Jessica Havoc or like Mia Yim, and then like winning the Icons title last 2 weekends ago.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
congratulations. Yeah, everybody, this is a champion. We're talking to a champion right now. So that's awesome.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, that's been like a highlight. And then, you know, also being at Nova and having Nova believe in me and like once again putting me in the ring with people like Mia Yim and Shaza McKenzie and like believing in me enough to like know that I can like carry myself and like put on a good match. And even though it's not perfect and they know that I'm still new, like you could still do this. So like they're not like doubting their choices at all, and just having like those few companies that don't doubt their choices in what they like want me to do has been like, honestly, and that's all happened really since March. Like my first time at Nova was
March
10th, and my first time at Battle Club was March 3rd, and that was within a week of each other. And then it's like ever since then I've just had these two companies just like constantly backing me, and I don't know, that's been like to me finding like being a person that like believe in me has been my biggest accomplishment. Like it doesn't have to be a title
should move a little to the left,
want to see me or who I'm in with. I really believe that I feel from like my Battle Club family and fans, and then the love I feel from like my Nova family and fans. Like it's just like that so far has been like the biggest thing to me. And I'm like, if this is just like a peek into like what could happen, like that's enough to like keep you going, and that's a big enough accomplishment for now. You know what I mean? And every show and every year I hope it grows, but like I don't need to be at the top of my game a year and a half in, but to know that I'm on my way is a big accomplishment to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of you saying, you know, going to a show and then having time to think, I don't even know how you can do that, considering you coming off another weekend like the weekend you just had, working Limitless, Nova, and then Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. 3 shows, 3 different cities in 3 days. So I'm not sure where that thinking time is coming, but nonetheless, the opportunities are, which is absolutely amazing.
How much pain are you in right now, Harlow? Are you doing all right?
I feel amazing.
Oh, good. That's what we want to hear.
I feel good.
But
yeah, I don't. Once again, it's like I went to like, I had 2 debuts this weekend, and I went to Limitless this past Friday, and I had never been up there before, and oh my god, it was so much fun. Like that crowd, I wasn't expecting them to know. It's like you never know what to expect. Same love from them that I do from like the Nova and Battle Club crowd.
Yeah.
And like that match is one I am. I can't even like I can't even put it into words. Like I have never really done like a full. I've had intergender spots before, but I've never done like a full intergender match before, and I was nervous, but I got to go into it, and it was just honestly, and like scramble match, like like multi-event matches with that many people involved can either be really good or really bad, and like every single one of us that was a part of that match, we left that weekend like that was a great match. Like we all had so much fun, and it was like, I mean, and like especially like all of them took really good care of me and like made sure I was good and safe the entire time, and like it was just an amazing like experience. And then it's like I got to be in the ring with like Austin Theory, who I've known for a while. Like him and I are both from Atlanta, and I got to be, and he's just brilliant. Like he's gonna go so far. Just like hearing him talk, you know what I mean, and like really like. And then there's like Kevin Blackwood, who I consider a good friend of mine, and like to be able to like have that moment with him, and even though it was also
I've seen him wrestle so many times. He's so good for how little he's been doing this. Like he's so young and he's amazing. So I'm so excited that you guys got to wrestle together.
Yeah, Kevin or
sorry, Blackwood.
Oh, Blackwood, yeah. No, I think that's why. Exactly. He's so good, and he's like, I think it's cool because him and I have been wrestling. He's been wrestling a little bit longer than me, but we're kind of at the same points in our career, and like we're very similar in general, just like with things that we like. So it's kind of cool to like find someone that you can consider like one of your really good friends and like grow with them.
Yeah.
Like. I consider him someone that I'm going to be able to grow within the industry. And I think that's really cool. And we like really enjoyed wrestling, and same thing with like everybody that was involved, like Eli, Everfly, Jay, Freddie, Austin, Kevin, Nico Silva, like everybody just had such a good time in that match. And we all like loved that match. And then Austin with his stunner.
No, I wanted to bring that up. He
was like so happy about that. He's like,
I don't think I've ever sent someone more emojis than I sent you for that.
And it's like everywhere right now, and I'm like, I know.
I could not stop laughing.
And the thing is like, I didn't see him take the stunner. I gave him the stunner, but I did not see him take it because I gave it to him. So I didn't see what, you know what I mean? And then we get into the locker room and we watch the footage back, and I'm like, what? But like that was such a good show. And then I got to like the next day be at Nova with all of my Nova family, and like getting to wrestle Mia in 2 weeks, and that was amazing, and just being around everybody there, and then coming back one day and making my debut at AWE. It was a good time. It was a good weekend, and I had a lot of fun, and I never really wrestled. Ironically, I just don't wrestle much in Atlanta, and I don't know why. And it was really cool because I like during my entrance I walked out to the crowd, and like this is my first time ever performing in front of my hometown, really. I mean, I've had like, other than my first few months in the business, like I've never really like
that star was just getting
especially there. Since the Priestess has been in Atlanta, since the Priestess has become like
so one thing I want to go right back to really quick is beautiful Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
How did you end up there, and can you tell me about your love for it?
How I ended up in Ireland?
Yes.
Like wrestling, or when I lived there?
Yes, that part.
When I lived there?
Yes.
So
or sort of say not how you got there for living there, but your experience about Ireland. I know you emphasized a lot about loving it there from our conversation, so I think it's worth noting.
Hello. It was just a part of my early like adulthood, like early 20s. I fell in love and I got married, and my ex-husband's from Ireland, and moved over there, and I got to like experience life in a different country, and us splitting up is actually like what brought me to wrestling. So that's how I ended up over there, and I've gone back almost every year since that's happened. So like I still have this like love for it, and something I don't think I'll ever be able to replace, like my love for like the people there and the culture and just the country itself. But a lot of people, when I tell them that, they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "No, it was a part of my life, and it's honestly just like love it so much.
Yeah, all from the pictures I've seen from it, it's absolutely beautiful, and I can see how you would want to travel frequently out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
and if anybody's never gone, you should definitely go.
Yeah. So, Will, did you have anything before we start to try to wrap it up a little?
I think the one thing, of course, that caught my attention, being an older fan that we didn't touch on, was I was quite surprised to see that you were trained by Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express.
Yep.
How exactly now? Since you were saying you weren't a fan when you first started going down this path, so did you have any not? You are from Atlanta. So that is kind of their stomping grounds and stuff, being they were definitely a Southern tag team. So were you familiar with the Rock and Roll Express before, or did it just come about in a different way that you ended up with Robert Gibson as your trainer?
So like I said, like I still like only recently got into wrestling in my adult life. So I had heard of the Rock and Roll Express. But once again, when I started, I was just learning about wrestling in general, at all, like in all capacities, like the old school stuff, the new school stuff, what was on TV currently, all the indie stuff. Like only started really truly learning about all that in 2016.
Wow.
Which is like when I started training. So
okay.
I had heard of the Rock and Roll Express, but I wasn't aware of like how like I learned quickly, obviously, because Robert did not let me not know. And I joke around, but Robert's genuinely like he's like my dad. Like legit, he's my dad. Like he's definitely trained. He's had his fair share of people that he has trained. Like, you know, Beth Phoenix, Alicia Fox, like all of these people. But like ever since he opened up his school in Georgia, I'm like the first girl that's gone through his school and like lasted. Like made it through training.
Awesome.
I still talk to him. I still pop into training as much as I can. You know, when I first started training before I even debuted, I mean, we were training like 3 days a week, 3 to 4 days a week, sometimes twice a day. I was in there with the boys. I was the only girl, which I feel like is like not special. Like, I feel like that's very a normal thing now, especially. But like, he wouldn't let, at first, he was like, go easy on her, she's a girl, you know what I mean? And then I'll never forget, like, there was just one training where I was like over it. I was like, no. And I like literally the entire training session, I like out wrestled all the boys. He's always like believed in me, but it's learning experiences. I like there was other like coordinations or danger beings from him, and no options of a bad option. But I feel experience in all your matches are. I would never reach everything for. Hello.
Yeah. Because it was cutting out, it all played back a little bit delayed.
Oh, okay.
Every time.
The worst, most awkward interview you guys put up. Like most of it's gonna be us going, "Hello, can you hear me now?"
We've had far worse interviews.
Yep.
Don't worry.
Every time you move a little bit, it gives us a little bit back.
But the fact that you're giving us answers at all, some wrestlers are just not at all good at doing that.
Literally. Guys, I'm made at home and I'm just like sitting in my car not moving. Like I haven't been moving for like 10 minutes, just trying to make sure that the signal goes through. I'm like, I'm not moving until this is done. So
well, we'll let you go soon. I guess are we gonna wrap up? Are we good? Does anybody have anything else?
Oh no, I mean you don't have to let me go. I'm just saying, like I'm trying to like make sure the signal does not keep faltering.
The signal's good right now, so we should probably get in anything we're trying to get in.
Yeah, do we have anything we need to plug?
Which I was going to say earlier, in all fairness, I was down in Atlanta like, I don't know, sometime earlier this year, and I tried to do a show remotely, and it was absolutely, it was a tragedy with service down there. So I know the pain.
It is Atlanta, you guys.
Yeah. So I guess my next question is, when would the next time we be seeing you in our area?
In Nova?
Yeah.
Or in that area? Unfortunately, I have another place that I'm on August 24th. So we'll not be there in August. I know. I am excited about where I'll be. But,
that's awesome still.
Huh? Yeah.
I said that's awesome still.
Yeah, exactly. Mike was very understanding and supportive. But I should be back at Nova on, I believe, September 21st, I think. So.
And that is the big one. That's Nova Project 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yep.
Yeah. So I'll be back for the big one. I won't be there in August, unfortunately. But I will be in Boston at WWR on August 26th.
Okay.
So that's not like completely in your area, but it's still like up that way.
Yeah.
Compared to where I live, to me, that's the area because I live like completely south. So
it's still a date where people can come out and see you in action. That's what matters.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Why we do have your service cooperating, I do want to note that. So for this 2-year journey, we'll round it up to from you having doubts about wanting to doing it to actually getting the thoughts together to actually working promotions to now evaluating yourself and getting 2 to 3 shows every weekend. What does it all mean to you, considering now that you're a figure that people come to you for support?
They do. Like other wrestlers,
Fans and everything. I've
yeah.
definitely seen the outreach of people who support you, but also look for you for support, considering the things that you've been through and and the challenges, and a lot of your story. Like, a lot of people could give up, and they can go down a slippery path of just not wanting to do anything. But the fact that you have your foot on the gas, and again, you're working every promotion, you got new gear, like the recreating yourself and the reinvention of yourself, and constantly want to grow and expand is just a testament to to the, what's the word I'm looking for, to like the persona that you're gravitating, that people are gravitating to.
Yeah.
The positivity that you're giving off.
Well, I'm just grateful in general that people are paying attention to that. And it's hard. Like, I wish the connection was a little bit better. So if we ever want to do like a part 2, I'm totally down. So we can talk more. But with this, it's like, it's I think my biggest thing is when it comes to like mental like health is really important to me. And at the end of the day, to know that like I've had fans reach out to me saying I've helped, and I've had other wrestlers reach out to me, even if it's not like a mental thing, but like recently, and I didn't know it was like this, but like I've had a lot of people recently come up to me and be like, you've definitely pushed me to get better promo pictures, or you've pushed me to do better promos, or like I've seen like some more wrestlers come out with more like vignette type things recently, and I don't think that I had anything to do with that, but to see that the whole wrestling community is like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like we have this amazing like creative like field, and to see people actually like
I think we
do what?
That last part, to see actually people like, and then it went dark.
To see like I'm not moving. Like, I don't know why this is like cutting out, because I'm literally not moving.
It's
the spirits are not cooperating with us tonight for whatever reason.
It's the Holy Spirit.
we will gracefully accept your part 2.
I'm like, maybe part 2 I can be like on Wi-Fi somewhere.
Yes,
this is horrible.
Yes.
Yeah, but we would also love to hear more from you, because it just sounds like you got so many great answers, like even beyond the storm cutouts and everything.
I know,
else.
like, of course, like we were supposed to do it last week, technical difficulties, then we rescheduled to tonight, and it's like the storm is like, no, you're not gonna do this, and I'm just like, what is happening?
Third time will be the charm.
Yeah,
everything will align perfectly.
But,
but the stars above.
Yeah. But no, like but anyways, like, quick answer short, like just being able to help people, and like, and them helping me is just like, I don't know, that's the beauty of like being in an industry like this, where like you can draw inspiration from each other. And at the end of the day, like, people being able to draw inspiration from me and me being able to draw it from them is great. And even like fans, like I'll get occasionally letters from fans that are like, oh, you've inspired me so much, or you do so much for me. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like crying my eyes out where I'll read these letters. And I'm like, but you do so much for me. Like, just like, no, like, it's like I just really like want wrestling fans to know, like, as much as like they say we do for them, it's the same for us.
Yeah.
So like what them showing up to shows and spending their hard-earned money, or coming up to our like tables to talk to us, or taking time to like write us letters, like it does the same things for us emotionally and mentally that they say like seeing us perform does for them. So it's just a big old like circle of like love.
At least that's what we want it to be.
Yeah, at least you hope. You got the few bad situations or bad apples, but for the most part, like, wrestling's it's like I don't know who said it, I don't know what company it is, but like wrestling's for everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It definitely should be,
yeah.
Well, we definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. I'm really sorry that this has just been like super awkward. And I feel like I haven't been able to give you guys good answers because I'm like, can you hear me now? Between everything.
We'll definitely work it out. There's nothing to be worried about. We would definitely work it out. And I think for us, I think, we got a lot of the the questions stuff we want to know, but there's still a lot, to talk about. But more importantly, we want to make sure the fans can definitely get to know you, because next thing you know, you'll be working at their home promotion. Because you're everywhere.
There's good months and there's bad months, but hopefully that's my goal, to reach everywhere.
Yeah.
But like, I'm definitely down to do a part 2, and I'm not deleting this app off my phone. It's forever on it. So, so we don't have any more issues with that.
We're starting off the next show about the troubles of the first 2 attempts. That's what that's going to be.
Yes.
It's a good story.
Yes, exactly.
No,
exactly.
but more importantly,
the
yes, everyone knows that the Matrix 2 is the best one, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of the trilogy. But no, before we go to, where are you going to be? Are you anywhere this weekend?
Yes, I'm at New South in Hartselle, Alabama this weekend, which is another one of those promotions that, like, one of the first ones I ever worked at.
Okay.
So I'm going back there. I haven't wrestled there in a few months. So I'll be there, and I'll be wrestling Ø'HARA Pereira. So that'll be fun.
Nice. Yeah. That's the homie.
Yeah. The homie.
Will you be making her pray? Actually, you guys, that's gonna be a great match. Now that I think about it, that's a lot of charisma in one ring.
That's a lot of character. Yeah. You're like, I don't really know if whatever planet she's from prays, but we'll find out. So
there's always the ref too.
Yeah. If she doesn't pray, he will. Someone will pray.
It's funny too now, because now all the cameramen know exactly the glip for that spot. So
I know. Oh my god, it's so funny. And the refs will ask me that. I'll be like, "Hey, am I praying to you?" I'm like, if you want to, we can work that out.
Oh, by the way, I forgot because I was laughing so much earlier. So no, seriously, I need to know, what was that conversation between you and Austin Theory about that spot?
Literally, it was not a conversation. It was Austin's so silly. Every time because I've seen him, like, once again, New South, the place I'm working this upcoming weekend, Austin used to work at all the time. Like, it was Austin and I have been wrestling about the same amount of time. He's wrestling a little bit longer than me. We're both from the same area. So, like, we've been on a lot of, like, little shows over time, but we've never been in the ring together. So, and then the weekend before Limitless, we were at Battle Club together, and then we were at Innovative Pro together for 2 days in a row. So, like, we would just randomly, like, joke around. And then we were, like, stuck in traffic in a storm. Trying to go to the airport to make it back because we were on the same flight home.
Yeah.
And that's when we were just kind of like silly, like chalking around, like about just like, because we had Limitless coming up the next weekend, and he's like, "Hey, I saw you give me a stunner," and I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "So do you do those often?" And I was like, and I was like, "I don't know, it might be a surprise, Austin." And he's like, "All right, well, I'm just saying, if you do one," and then that's what happens. And like I said, I didn't see him take the stunner because I gave it to him. So like, I gave him the stunner, and then I scrambled, like, to, like, I don't know, mess up the next person that had tried to come at me. And then we go in the back and we watch the footage, and I just see Austin like freaking go into orbit after, and I was like, Austin, and he goes, "What? It's just." He's like, "You give good stunners. I don't know what to tell you." I was just like, "Oh my god!" And then now, like I said, it's everywhere, so it's funny. It's funny. It's good time.
That's so crazy.
I absolutely did not know that that's how he was gonna like. But I mean, it's working, and everybody's talking about his ridiculousness. So, in the best way possible. Like, I love that kid. So it was like, I'm so happy like that I shared that moment with him.
We'll consider it a cute stunner for how good it looked.
Yeah. Those moments mean a lot. So just to close out, Harlow, where can everybody find you on social media? Like, what's your Twitter handle?
Yes, my Twitter handle is Harlow, hvrlow _. Instagram's the same thing, hvrlow. There's no underscore on Instagram, and then Harlow O'Hara on Facebook. There's a like page. So I'm on a little bit of everything. I'm on Google Hangouts too, apparently.
Oh, this is the church, Harlow. We're in the church right now, so that's it just the word keeps spreading. But thank you so much for your time tonight, and hopefully the storm passes you by. Yeah. And next time we'll get even more questions in.
Yeah, for sure, it will pass, and we will next time. I will make sure I can't guarantee there's not gonna be a storm, but I'll try to find Wi-Fi. And like I said, I'm not deleting this app off my phone, so like we're good to go. Awesome. But thank you guys. Like I said, I'm totally down for a part 2. So let's like do that soon.
Awesome.
Sounds
thank
good.
you so much.
Thank you.